Hey everybody, it's
What's going on, y'all?
Juanita,
And this is Jordan.
and we welcome you to our channel. Love does cost a thing.
You already know.
So welcome if you
Yeah.
are a first-time viewer, and welcome back
Yes.
if you've been hanging out
If you're
with
part
us.
of the family, y'all, and if you haven't already done so, y'all been watching consistently, or if you're new, hit the subscribe below so you can stay in the loop with all things LoveDoesCostAthing.
Yeah.
Shout out to our sponsor, Unashamed Apparel. We
Whoop,
wear what we
whoop.
believe.
Yeah.
One of the hottest Christian apparel clothing lines out on the planet. We want to give you a discount code LDCAT right there in the comment description, rather in the description, that gives you a 10% off discount on your entire order. So head on over to shopunashamed.com and get your Unashamed Apparel, y'all.
Yeah.
We wear what we believe. Okay.
All right, we got another hot topic.
Y'all
I feel like
ready.
every time we come to them, we have a hot topic.
We do have a hot topic.
But this one really, it's like
it's like
fuming.
It's fuming.
It's like
Fuego.
spicy.
Fuego.
Caliente.
Yeah.
Sí or no. Sí.
See?
All right, I'm practicing Spanish, y'all. Anyway.
Her name Juanita. Juanita.
Anyway, so today,
yes,
our hot topic question is...
You seen the title.
Is marriage just a piece of paper?
Piece of paper? Is it, listen.
Well, first, Jordan, let's kind of debunk that a little bit.
No, I need you to help me unpack it. Because what do people mean when they say, is it just a piece of paper?
So I think in my experience, and again, I'm not saying that this is factual, I'm just saying in my experience, when I've spoken to people and they've said that, they're really coming from a space of they don't believe that marriage is something that they need to do, like that they have to go through.
They already married.
Like they are already together. They're already sharing things. They are already creating a life that you know that's pleasing to both of them. So they just feel like, what's the purpose of me like getting married? And so I think that that's really where it comes from, and that's not the only side of it, right? That's just the side that I'm aware of.
All right. Well, help us out. What do people mean when they say it's just a piece of paper? For all intents and purposes, for the context of this video, we're going to go with this definition. Okay? And we literally just started pressing record because we thought that it would be useful to have this conversation, this dialogue kind of like live for real. Yeah. Okay, so what we got? Am I asking you the question or you asking me the question?
Yeah, you can ask me. I can get started. Yeah, that's okay.
All right. The central question is what? Help me frame it. What are we asking them today? Well, what are we talking about today?
Is marriage just a piece of paper? Yeah. Like is it needed? Do I have to get married?
Okay.
What changes if I get married?
I went first last week.
Okay. So I would say for me, is marriage just a piece of paper? I would say yes and no. I would say yes, it is a piece of paper. Yeah. But I would argue that so is the degree that you pursued. So is the money that you earn when you go to a job. I think that there's a lot of pieces of paper that we work hard to obtain. And while marriage, yes, does have that paper piece where you have to literally sign it, a marriage certificate, I think that it is a lot deeper than just that. So if we are taking that example of a degree, your degree is not just a piece of paper. What does your degree really mean? It means that you studied yourself approved. It means that you worked hard enough and you can brag a little bit, or you are worthy of the position in which you're pursuing because this degree shows that you've put in the work, that you've done the studies, that you've shown yourself ready and available for this position. Yeah. It's the same way with marriage or marriage certificate is what I would say. Like it shows that commitment that you're making. It shows that your desire to do whatever it takes to make sure that your union lasts. You guys know that Jordan and I, we don't mention that idea of divorce. It's not an option for us. Yeah. It's not an option for us. And so when we did that early on before we even got married. Yeah. And so for us, marriage means it's a sign that him and I have vowed to literally love each other and work it out forever. And so I think when you talk about this idea of is marriage just a piece of paper, I think that you're leaving a lot of things out that wouldn't be fair to those who are pursuing it. Because it just makes people feel like, oh, well, I can just do what you're doing. And I would argue, no, you can't. I'm an educator. Okay?
My Lord.
I went to school for 4 years to be an educator.
Mm-hmm. What else you had to do? You had to pass the what?
Oh, yeah, praxis 1, praxis 2.
And you had to recertify.
Yeah, like, so there's a lot of things that I have to do to show myself and prove that I deserve to be an educator. You can't just wake up one day and say, I'm an educator.
And then furthermore, from the context of marriage, if you are the one who is in the relationship, let's say you are the man and rather you're the woman and your man says, well, we don't need the piece of paper, right? I feel like you're settling for someone who hasn't proven themselves or who hasn't gotten the degree or isn't willing to get the degree. Maybe not the best analogy, but I hope you understand. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because this is I guess what confuses me, and you guys can drop it in the comment. People often will argue, well, we're already married, or we already believe that we're married. And then my thing is, so then why don't you just get married? Because if you're already sticking it out, if you're already working it out or working through things together, if you're already like creating families, if you're already doing these things, why not get married? Like, I don't know why. In my mind, I'm like,
what's the apprehension for people not wanting to make their marriage official legally?
I think that there's a lot of things that people like fight. I think it's the stigma of marriage where like people haven't had a good representation of marriage, so they're scared, and that they think, well, I know people personally who are like, my parents got a divorce. Here it is. My parents got a divorce, so I think I'm gonna get a divorce. Divorce is not hereditary.
One more time for the people in the back.
Divorce is not hereditary.
It ain't.
And I'm telling, like, I love you, okay? Whoever you are, I love you. But just because something happened to your parents, it does not mean it has to happen to you. It doesn't even mean that because it happened to your great-grandparents and then it happened to your grandparents and then it happened to your parents. Today it runs out. Today, it's done because you are going to make choices that are going to make that thing different.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's really important. I think that's one thing, right? Like our experiences, what we see, what we've experienced about marriage through other people. I think the second thing is this idea that marriage has this stigma, like, and people are scared to be together forever. Right?
So, no, but that's the problem, though.
Because think about it.
That's wait. Let's unpack that. This is the reason why they won't get married to you, because they can't get away from you if they want to. If they wake up one day and they're not pleased with you, they can't just go away.
That door is open when people say, "Nah, I don't need to get married."
Yeah, because you it's a control thing. You still want to be in control of what you want to do. And marriage relinquishes your own control. You have to sacrifice for your partner. There is no you anymore.
Yeah.
It's us to become one.
Yeah. And I think that that's scary for some people.
It is.
Which I think the idea of it is scary. Or maybe like the idea of it is something that like you recognize you have to work a little bit harder with, right?
Yeah.
Like, but I think that with anything you have to work hard for. Yeah. Like getting that degree or getting that job or getting that vehicle, like anything that you're like desiring is going to take work.
Yeah.
So that's it. So their experiences, I think the fear of being together forever.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people don't have their affairs in order. And because of that, like,
what do you mean by that?
Like if you have baggage that you're bringing into a relationship.
No, be specific because I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. If you had, like, let's say you're a dad and you're on child support and you haven't paid your child support, when you get married.
You shouldn't even be with that man.
Okay. That's not what we're saying.
You shouldn't even be with them in the first place.
So, but
babe.
But listen, though.
Why are they going to be with them thinking that he going to take care of them? He only take care of his own kids.
I understand what you're saying. That's not what we're saying in this episode. That's not what we're talking about. You're going that way. Bring it back. Bring it back.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying that in general. I'm not just saying that was just an example because you're asking me specifically.
Fair.
I'm just saying overall, people may not have their affairs in order, and that does affect your spouse when you get married if you don't have your affairs in order. And so some people are using that as an excuse, right, to not get married because they're like, oh, I don't have enough money in this case, or, oh, I have all this debt. And while I think that it is noble for someone to admit that their affairs are not in order, I don't think it's okay to use that as an excuse to not get married.
It's not.
I think it's more of like, you should be showing me and proving that you're working through those things. Yeah.
Because this is supposedly the reason that's holding us back.
Yeah.
It's a red flag when someone's affairs aren't in order. It doesn't mean it's necessarily a deal breaker.
Yeah.
But if their affairs are not in order 4 years from now, down the line, they still talking about they got to do. Listen, I want you to not be led by what you feel. I want you to be led by the fruit you see.
Yeah.
Their fruitfulness is the tell of whether or not you should commit your life to them. I think that's the real crux of the matter. I think that's the real issue with people not wanting to get married officially, right? I think the perspective that I have is like, if you think marriage is just a piece of paper, then you're right. But who do you serve? Who do you value? Is it a God thing? Do you serve the Lord? If you say that you do, then marriage is absolutely a legal thing. Biblically, it's absolutely a legal thing.
So what if there's someone who doesn't serve the Lord? What would you say to people like that who don't serve the Lord?
If you don't serve the Lord, I would still encourage you to get married. I'm sorry. I would encourage you to serve the Lord first.
Yeah.
Because you can have a good marriage without Jesus.
Yeah.
There are plenty of people who don't believe in Jesus who have great marriages, who have good marriages. But I just have a deep conviction that everything is better when you do life with Jesus.
Yeah.
And so to coincide with that, especially for those believers that are on the fence, right? You know, you have that. Listen, you single. I love you, but you single. You still a fiance. You single. You still a girlfriend. You still a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Watch. And boyfriends and girlfriends don't get favor. Husbands and wives do.
Yeah.
So wait. So if Jesus is your Lord, if you're following him, then this is what you got to lay down. This is what you got to submit. Yeah. He gave us the ultimate example. We are the bride of Christ, whom he gave his life for, who he gave.
Say that again.
The bride. The bride of Christ.
Yeah.
Watch. Oh, you got to understand ancient cultures. And they're like, okay, Miranda, right? You remember the dowry? Remember when Mariah and Randall was talking about like how if Papa Barron asked Randall for a dowry, he would have had to find it and pay it. That's a biblical thing.
Yes,
the bride price. Yes. That's still very much so a thing, right?
Yeah.
And so this was the traditional way that a husband would prove that he is a worthy husband before they even got married.
Yeah.
When Jesus died, when he went and gave his life, that's the bride price that he paid. He gave everything. So why would you, my lovely sister, allow something less from someone who says that they commit to you until death, but they won't let you become their wife officially?
Yeah.
They won't commit to you in the way that Jesus calls us to commit. Make it legal, make it official.
Yeah.
No questions. That's why we wear rings. Not so that we know, so that you know. So that y'all know. I'm sorry. So that other people know. I'm screaming at the camera. So that everyone else knows. It's the outward sign of your inward commitment to your spouse.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. It's a declaration to the world. I am committed to this person no matter what. It's the ultimate standard.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate standard. It's the ultimate sign to become one, not just words.
Yeah. Put your money where your mouth is.
You got to.
Yeah.
Talk is cheap.
Yeah.
Talk is cheap. This is why you got to take it to the next level.
Yeah. No, I think that that's really good, Jordan, because it made me think, and we're going to kind of come down from there and start to close, but it made me think about...
why she always be making me stop talking?
This idea of settling, right? We kind of like touched on a little bit, and I love the way that you put that, like what you just said, like that's a whole sermon right there.
Yeah.
We could literally just
He paid the price.
Clip out everything else. And
so why would you settle for a lesser husband?
Yeah, and so I think it just brings me to this thought of, like, you should be getting paid for the work that you do. And this is what I mean by that. If you are cooking, cleaning, taking care of children, taking care of a home, splitting your finances, like, the payment is that idea of I'm a wife, they're a husband. Like, you shouldn't be doing those things without the certificate, without the, what is the thing called? The title. And I know people are like, oh, title's this, title's that. But it really does mean something. And this is why. Because even if you say to yourself, okay, I'm not a believer, right? Legally.
Juanita.
Legally. Right?
That was good.
If you are not married, there are certain things that you are not able to do. Let's say, for example, whether you're a man or a woman. Can you just let me talk?
I'm sorry.
Whether you're a man or a woman and you are in a committed relationship and you guys are saying to yourself, okay, we don't need to get married. We have everything that we need now. Cool. Let's say something happens to your spouse. They go to the hospital. They're on life support. They need surgery. They're unresponsive. And there has to be someone who is able to speak on their behalf.
Yeah. You can't talk.
If you guys are not married according to the law, without that piece of paper,
you have no say.
You have no say.
None.
And think about how devastating that could be, spending 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years with someone. With knowing no title. That person deeper than their parents could ever know them.
Yeah, their secrets.
And you get to this position and you have no say.
And you have nothing. Why? Because you don't have the title. When you said the title, I was thinking about when I finished paying off our cars. Once you finish paying off the cars, what do you get a title? Because that means it's yours and no one else's. If you don't have a title, anybody can claim it as their own.
Oh my God.
If you don't have a title, anybody can claim it. They can claim your person.
Okay, I got to get my husband to calm down. It's too good, though.
That's why you need a title.
Yeah, that's
anybody
good.
Can walk up in your house and say it's theirs. That's what the squatters' laws are. That's why you need a title.
Yeah, wow.
Stop settling for something less.
That is so good.
That's why you need that piece of paper.
Yeah.
And then you're going to wonder why somebody then sweet talked your girl. And now you want to get jealous. You wouldn't wife her up.
Yeah.
Stop playing.
And the opposite too. Right?
Can I tell them why I'm screaming at them a little bit today?
Go ahead.
Because I'm passionate about this.
Yeah.
When the man is in his rightful place in the household, everything statistically, you don't got to believe in Jesus. Statistically, when the man is in the rightful place as a husband, handling his business with his wife first and then down to the kids, serving the Lord, if you do that, your kids have a greater probability of being mentally strong, academically strong. The chances of them having mental health challenges decrease significantly when you're in your rightful place. When you show commitment to your spouse first. That's why you need a title. See, the reason why you're less prone, and I'm going to keep it all the way G with you. I don't care if you're offended. The reason why you're less prone is because you don't want to be held accountable. Man up. Time out for all of that dumb stuff. Excuse me. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's time out for all of that. Because the woman that you say you love and you're committing your life to is getting a lesser version of what she's supposed to have. And she's settling for you because you won't commit to her. Stop playing. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing these babies suffer, thinking that they got a daddy when you won't even commit to the woman who gave you them babies.
My God. My God. All right, let's take a pause right there.
No. We got to let that marinate a little bit more. I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
Okay,
I'm just trying to tell y'all this is why the title is important.
Yeah.
Because it lets your person and everybody else know what's yours.
Yeah.
It gives your family the assurance of what's theirs.
Yeah.
But then you're going to have the nerve to expect your daughter to grow up and get married and trust a man. And then you're going to have the nerve to expect your son to take care of his responsibilities and be a man of his word. But you want to lower the standard. You want to create your own mark, your own standard. You want to create your own college to get your own degree. That's not how the world works. And I'm not even talking about people who serve the Lord. People who say they serve the Lord, it's even worse for you. Because you're literally creating your own standard. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. You need to live the way that God has called you to live. Raise up to the standard. You got your money issues, it's all good. Everything is easy for God. You got your baggage, it's all good. He can deal with it. He can handle it. But not if you're trying to hide it. Not if you're trying to create your own standard. You need the title because it lets you and everybody else know that it's yours. Don't wonder why she ain't fully committed. You done made her your girlfriend for the past decade. It's time. You wondering why you getting all this pressure? Because this is the standard. This is the way that it's supposed to be. It's just a legal thing. Yes, it's absolutely a legal thing. In the natural and in the spirit. Stop playing. You are prolonging the blessings that could be coming to you and your girl or you and your wife and your family because you won't make the commitment. I hope that you hear my heart, and I hope that you are convicted enough to move forward and make a change so that you can live, watch, to the level of abundance that Jesus already died for. And this is for everybody, believe it or not. If you're not sold on Jesus just yet, we can talk about it. Drop your question in the comments. I'm ready. But this is the time we got to stop playing and wondering why our life ain't what it's supposed to be. Wondering why our visions can't be accomplished, why we still going in them cycles. This is a cycle. Seasons change, but cycles are broken. This ain't a season. Y'all not just building. Ain't that much building to be done. Y'all not just working on or focusing your relationship. Y'all are holding yourselves back. That's why you're still working on it. You should be thriving in it by now. It's been 3 years. Was that too much?
I think that sometimes we need it. I think that sometimes we need the tough love. Oftentimes people may shy away from it, but I think that sometimes we just need to hear it frank and real so that we can make some changes. But yeah, let us know what's going on in your mind. You may agree with us, you may disagree with us. Like, respectfully, we are open to your opinion and your thoughts, and let us know for future videos what you want us to cover, some things you want us to speak on. And ultimately, man, like, we're hoping that as a result of you watching these videos, that you feel stronger, that you feel wiser, that you feel like you can make better decisions. And so we thank you for tuning in with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and share.
And drop your questions below. There is a link that you can copy and paste to get your questions answered live on the show. And it can be completely anonymous. Or if you want to let us know who you are, we'll shout you out on the show.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have for you guys today.